Today's episode is brought to you by Modern Grower. Let's face it, seeding in the nursery is tedious and time-consuming. Turn the drudgery into efficiency with the time and labor-saving Quick Click Seeder by Modern Grower. The Quick Click can seed a full nursery tray in seconds. It's fully compatible with all trays on the market, such as paper pot, airstrip, cell trays, prop tech, and more. The Quick Click can also be used for microgreens. Cut your time spent seeding by 75% with a Quick Click Seeder available at shop.moderngrower.co. Quality microgreens, what does that mean to you? What do you think it means to the customer?
Shelf life. It has to last. And the only way for it to last is that when it's packed, it needs to be dry. If they're wet when you pack them, they will rot in the box. And you cannot pack dead little horrible dead microgreens in your microgreens. So you have to grow them to perfection. If you have little dead strands of microgreens here and there in your tray, and you pack that, the whole thing will go bad. Or if the whole thing doesn't go bad, the person will open the box and drop the content on a plate and see that there's a bunch of little dead, moldy, rotting pieces in there. And that is the last time they will buy from you. So you have to grow the trays to perfection. There's no 96%. It has to be 100% pristine. No disease, no mold, no dead strands, no nothing. And no water on the leaves when you harvest them. So your watering timing has to be very well adjusted with your harvest. Additionally, we have come to the painful conclusion that we cannot automate and use machinery for harvesting and packing microgreens. Because of our quality standards, we've just consistently tested and then refused to use any machinery. So we don't use any quick cut harvest cutters. We've returned them. We don't use any of those little electric scissors that just clip the tray. We do everything with very sharp ceramic knives by hand. And this way, every time that we harvest a handful, we can look at it. And if there's anything wrong with it, any dead little thing, it can be removed, or it goes to the bin and it's not packed. And I think that's the key, because without this, and we've tried everything, and we've also run it by our customers and tracked the difference and the response that we've got. And it's just, now we're the only company around, as far as I know, who is nuts enough and dedicated enough to actually do this. It's just the cost of doing this is enormous when it comes to labor and the time that is involved in this.
What's harvest time per tray on average?
Let's see. I think it takes us 12 hours of labor with a crew of 3 per week. So that's 36 hours. We've got roughly 400 trays. Add another 4 hours, because sometimes it goes a little longer. Sometimes we go back to it. Some late orders come in. Say 40 hours, 40 man hours for 400 trays. So on average, 10 trays per hour. So 6 minutes. So it's horrible. That's not where we make money. That's our biggest cost in the business. But yeah.
You could argue that is where you make the money though, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just, that's the biggest cost. And it's difficult, and it's also tedious. It's like day in, day out. We have 2 days a week where we harvest, Monday and Tuesday. We start at 8 o'clock in the morning, and usually by 2 or 3 o'clock, we're done. And we cut and pack our 400 trays. It's a crew of 3 again. So it's a big investment in terms of our time and our effort and money-wise. But in my humble opinion, it's the way to do it for long-term success.
Yeah, it's $2 a tray. If you're paying somebody $20 an hour in harvesting costs there. So yeah, But if it keeps them coming back, it's part of what you're doing. It's part of selling to that premium market. Maybe you go to a farmer's market,
Exactly.
maybe you're in a different location. I think this is where people have to really be cognizant of this is not one size fits all. Maybe your market is okay with bigger pack sizes. Maybe your market's okay with no label. Maybe your market's okay with something that you can mechanized or harvest with a machine. It just comes down to you got to do what works for your market. And more importantly, is you have to know. It's like when you don't know, and you're guessing, that's where mistakes are made. Because if you could harvest with a machine and save all that time, save all the labor, make it probably more enjoyable for some of the people doing it, you'd do it. But I'm assuming you've tried it and the results were just not good. Was it stem discoloration? Was it you're getting a bunch of crap in there with the microgreens and then you got to spend a ton of time like picking through it, so you're saving at one part but then your QC goes way up?
Yeah, all of the above. All of the above, and it can be just put in a nutshell with shelf life. If you harvest with one of those automated harvesters, inevitably you will have debris in it. You will have little pieces of cut microgreens in it. You will have dead stuff that should have been picked out right away that you will not be able to remove. You will have little debris of soil, which we grow in soil, so we also have to be very careful to keep everything clean and not have any soil going in there. And your shelf life will drop dramatically. And for us, because we are located on the shelf of a grocery store for days and days, many of our products have more than 12 days of shelf life, and some have more than 16 days, where it looks perfect at day 16. You just can't get that if you automate it, because the human hand is this beautiful, beautiful thing that can, and our eye and our attention and our precision, and we can just do better than the machines.
Is part of your job as owner to instill in the people doing the harvesting that is a really important task? Don't just crank through it. Don't zone out, like, pay attention. Because it's one thing to say it and then you assign it to somebody and they're just chop, 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 throw it in, chop, and you don't get the results that you set out for. So do you find yourself doing a lot of employee management training, that type of thing to communicate this matters?
Oh yeah, you don't get to work here if you don't get that part really quick. That's just the most important part of what we do. That's, we really want to make every single box like this little standout thing that looks pretty. This is really key. And yeah, of course, employee training. The crew leader that leads the harvest, like I said, it's a crew of 3 doing this for 2 days out of the week. So the crew leader really has to be the one super on board. So we are 2 owners. My brother-in-law Luke is 50% partner in the business, and so there's typically one of us being the crew leader, but we're training someone now to eventually replace us. Yeah, it's just part of it. It's just part of the company culture, I think. I don't really believe in employee training. I believe in hiring the people who already get it right away.
Yeah, that's a big step in the right direction. You know, they're already halfway. Yes. They're already moving down the right path. Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily is part of the Modern Grower Podcast Network. Check out some of our other shows like Carrot Cash Flow, the Growing Microgreens Podcast, and Farm Small, Farm Smart. Learn more about the shows using the link below.